are going to start our next session. So the keynote address, Professor Dr. S. Ganapathy Venkata Subramaniam from Anna University, Tamil Nadu. He is having his PhD in environmental management and law, and an MSc, MPhil in environment sciences, MBA, MPhil in management, MA in public administration, MLS, MEd, MA in personal management and industrial relations, PG diploma in public relations, PG diploma in higher education degree in law, PG diploma in environmental law, PG diploma in criminology and forensic science, diploma in labor law with administrative, awarded a certificate diploma in environmental law conducted by UNITAR 2009, a work-based diploma in 6 months duration, involved in several environmental impact assignments related, and he is having more than 30 years of academic teaching experience, and he has presented papers in national and international conferences, seminars, and journals, put together 32 national and 41 international journals. And he is been nominated by His Excellency Governor of Tamil Nadu for the member in state level expert appraisal committee for a period of 3 years from 15 October 2008 to 15 October 2011. Again, his senator has been extended for further period of 3 years from 2012 to 2015. He has been nominated by the Syndicate of Tiruvallur University as member in the Board of Studies in Environmental Management. He has been nominated and served for a period of 3 years as a member Board of Studies for the Faculty of Law by the University of Madras Syndicate for a period of 3 years from March 2nd, 2017 to March 2010. So very warm welcome to Dr. S. Ganapathy Venkata Subramaniam, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. My voice is audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, sir. So can I start?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So at the outset, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizers of this international conference, Dr. Of the college, SINHAGAD SINHAGAD Institute of Technology and Science, LONAVALA, Pune, along with our in association with the in association with the Global Research Conference Forum. And especially my special thanks for having extended this invitation to Dr. M.S. Roho Kale, Principal, Dr. Manjit Kaur Madam, Vice Chancellor, and Dr. Chandramohan Jha University, Professor Prakash Divakar from the Global Research Conference Forum for having extended this invitation to me. And today that international conference, and I am very, very privileged and very happy to get myself associated with the Global Research Conference Forum. I think this is the second time or the third time I got the privilege of associating myself. So the topic which is for the international conference is that on the multidisciplinary research or advances in the modern technology of the multidisciplinary research in the field of engineering especially. I can say that it should not be restricted only to the engineering faculty alone. It must be extended even to other faculty also. And today, the trend has totally changed. Some 20 years back, if anyone wanted to do the research, one means it will be specifically on that particular topic only. So having had an experience in that environmental science, I can very well say some 20 years back, if anyone wanted to do the research on the biology or in the botany or in the zoology, means he will be taking a restricted topic in the botany itself or in the plant science itself and do the research work. Similarly in the zoology. But now the trend has totally changed. In fact, the name itself has also been changed. For example, this biology, this botany has been changed into the plant sciences. Zoology has been changed into the animal sciences. And within the plant sciences also, you've got a number of the disciplines have emerged. Take, for example, the plant genetics, plant physiology. Like that, several specializations have come. In fact, so, and from that one only, you come across an amalgamation of these subjects together and come a new subject, namely this environmental science. And in that, environmental science is purely an interdisciplinary. I can say not only an interdisciplinary, it is a cross-disciplinary and multidisciplinary also. And before we are to proceed with the interdisciplinary, I would like to state that the advantages and disadvantages of doing this interdisciplinary work. First and the foremost, it allows the synthesis of ideas and synthesis of the, what you can say, the characteristics of many disciplines. In that case, see, you may be having one idea in your own faculty, but somebody will be having their own idea in their own faculty. But when we wanted to club and do that research means if these two ideas can club together so that that subject can develop in a fast way also. This is one of the very good advantage. And secondly, I can say it also addresses the students' individual differences and helps to develop a important transferable skill. That means that one person may be having a very good skill in their own faculty, but other fellow will have a good faculty. One may be in the botany, or one may be in the zoology, or one may be in the chemistry. But when it comes to the environmental science like that, an interdisciplinary one, it gives a good amount of an opportunity for them to, what you can say, to develop our individual differences, helps to develop that important transferable skills between them also. And again, for that, what are the various things which are essential means, first, identify that interdisciplinary which is in question. Because that research work, when we wanted to do the thing means, whether it is truly an interdisciplinary, that person, that thing, we have to look into that matter. And secondly, we have to identify the relevant phenomenon, or other words, what are the various areas connected with that research work. Take, for example, when we wanted to do that environmental impact assessment research work means, it requires the skill, or it is truly an interdisciplinary one. Why I am saying this so means, you should have the knowledge of civil engineering, you should have some knowledge about the biology, you should have some knowledge about the chemistry, and of course, even certain the arts and humanities and law subjects also. Why I am saying this so means, now at present I am one of the expert member in the environmental expert, the environmental impact assessment appellate of the environmental impact assessment authority of the government of Tamil Nadu of the Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India. So here, when we wanted to evaluate the project, that is that environmental impact assessment means, you should have a sufficient knowledge and the various disciplines. Take, for example, when a building project comes means, you must have that knowledge of a good amount of civil engineering. Okay, what is that with reference to the water? What is the quantum of water required? Where from they are going to acquire, and how the water is, how much per capita quantum of the water is required, and how this water is going to be treated, how much they are going to get it from the groundwater, surface water, from the system, how much they are going to get it. And again, from the groundwater they are getting, it means then whether they are going to recharge that groundwater, because groundwater is just like a fixed deposit. You cannot go on exploit that one also. So in that case, that water balance we have to do for that. And again, how much quantum of the wastewater you are going to generate. And these wastewater characteristics you wanted to study. How much quantum of the brown water, how much quantum of the gray water, how much quantum of the black water. Now this gray water can be treated, and once again it can be recycled also. Then similarly, when the groundwater is being taken or the surface water is taken means, when there is a depletion of the groundwater, it will have a tremendous environmental effect. In order to nullify, in order to mitigate it, then you are going for the roof water harvesting or the rainwater harvesting. How much quantum of the rainwater, what is that the rain pattern in that particular area, this is the quantum of rain and the season of the rain, and how much amount of the rainwater you are going to tap over the roof, and how this water is going to be recharged in the ground, and whether that percolation pit you are going to put it or you are going to store it in the sump. Like that, when you wanted to do that water balance means, certainly you require the knowledge of a civil engineer. Then similarly for the wastewater treatment, how much quantum of that wastewater you are going to generate it, and this wastewater, how you are going to treat it, what is the characteristics of this wastewater, and what type of the treatment you are going to employ it. And after the due treatment, once again, it is going to be reused for the gardening purposes or even for the toilet purposes. The grey water can be reused for the toilet purposes. After this water will be again used as a black water, and how it is, and what treatment methodology which you are going to adopt: physical treatment, chemical treatment, biological treatment, primary treatment, secondary treatment, tertiary treatment. Then after that, how that water is going to be disposed of and how the sludge is going to be disposed of. For all these things, you require that knowledge of chemistry is very, very essential. Okay, because at every stage, first and foremost, before that, what is the characteristics of the waste we have to study, wastewater we have to study. At every stage, how much amount of the BOD or the COD is going to be reduced. And finally, before discharging into the public sewer, then what is the BOD? So definitely it requires the chemistry knowledge. And secondly, when you wanted that with the chemistry knowledge, you can find it out, okay, this is the treatment we are going to adopt it. When it is in the larger scale, you have to design it. For that designing, this clariflocculator and other things, you require that engineering knowledge. So engineering in combination with the science, you have to have a technological knowledge also. So this is again a true and interdisciplinary one. Similarly, even for that waste, whether it is a solid waste or biomedical waste or it is a hazardous waste, certainly a person should have a knowledge of some quantum of the chemistry, some quantum of the biology, and some quantum of the engineering also. Take for example, the solid waste. Solid waste, again, for the purpose of disposing of the solid waste, when you wanted to evaluate what is the quantum of the solid waste you are going to generate it, how the solid waste is going to be transported, and how it is going to be disposed of. For that, you require a design, that is an engineering. But again, studying the characteristics. What is the biodegradable? What is the non-biodegradable? How the biodegradable has to be treated with the composting technique? How the non-biodegradable has to be treated by the incineration process? Certainly, you require the chemistry knowledge. Okay. Similarly, hazardous waste in the factories, why we wanted to go with the biomedical waste? First, foremost, we have to characterize the waste. What type of that waste, whether it is the physical one, chemical one, or the biological one, the characteristics. For that, you require some quantum of the biology knowledge as well as the chemistry knowledge. Then this waste, how it has to be transported and how it has to be treated. Again, you require the chemistry knowledge as well as the engineering design knowledge also. So now you can be able to identify, now you can be able to realize the importance of doing in the interdisciplinary one. Now, again, for doing this type of an interdisciplinary research, again, our mind has also been a little bit matured, and we should also have a wisdom to do or to recognize the other field in the same way. What is that our field is doing it? For that, we require a good amount of the wisdom. So first and foremost, what I'm saying is, when a question which cannot be answered by a single discipline, then we have to go for the interdisciplinary one. And when you are going for that interdisciplinary, the goal of integrating and constructing that more as an interdisciplinary way. Okay, so now in this case, you have to administer the researchers to view the problem in a new perspective. That is, See, in the olden days, you are doing a small work and you are doing it means, okay, that was over. But now everything is connected with the other faculty or other field also. So unless otherwise, either you should have that little bit knowledge or you must get the knowledge from the other persons or from the other person, you have to integrate it in your research work also. So here only that interdisciplinary is very, very important. Then again, when you go for these benefits of the interdisciplinary collaboration means it empowers the team members. See, it develops a good amount of the team spirit. For example, you have been asked to do an environmental impact assessment for a mining project or a hydroelectric project or even for a road project or any construction project means certainly it cannot be done by a single person. It requires the knowledge of the various faculty. That's what I told you in the beginning. It requires the chemistry, it requires the biology, requires the civil engineering knowledge. And in that civil engineering also air pollution. And in that air pollution also one person will have a chemistry knowledge of the air pollutants. Then how these air pollutants have to be trapped, how it has to be treated. Again, the chemistry knowledge. And again, for the purpose of designing that what is this one electrostatic precipitator and the Bach filter and all, you require a quantum of the engineering knowledge. So this is that. What is this one? It is the amalgamation, or it is recognizing not only your knowledge but the others' knowledge, so that it empowers the team members, so it develops a good amount of the team spirit for doing that work. Then second one, it closes the communication gap. How it means it? See, if I am having a good knowledge in that field means it, then if I equally recognize that other fellow, then I can able to communicate with that other fellow and get myself clarified that one. So recognizing mutually that each other and sharing of that knowledge between them. And third one, you are developing a good communication skill with them. And again, that knowledge you are going to integrate it in your project work also. Again, it requires a comprehensive patient care also. That is very important one. See, in the single research work means you are the master, you can do the thing. But when you are doing that interdisciplinary, you must recognize, get the knowledge from them, integrate it wherever it is required for that one. Then it promotes the team spirit. That is the most important. Everyone will be individually good in their own work. But when it comes to the collective work means everyone will think, okay, I am the superior, or he is the or he is inferior. Like that only everyone will think. Or my faculty is the superior, or my field is the superior one. But when it comes to the interdisciplinary, certainly it develops the tendency of recognizing each other, and it promotes a good amount of the team spirit between the researchers. Then it encourages the open communication. Open communication in the sense, see, I may be having, for example, in my office, we are doing that work. In that one, if I am not, where they say they are taking that, what is this one? The sand mining. Sand mining, when they are doing it, then definitely the revenue revenue authorities' knowledge is also very much required. Or otherwise, we have to get a lot of information from the revenue department also. Whether that sand mining is taking place in the Patta land or in the Paramboku land. Then again, if it is a Patta land means, is it an Atha Paramboku? Sorry, if it is a Paramboku land means, Atha Paramboka, Vodai Paramboku, Nattam Paramboku, Janmam land, like that, that land is being classified. Again, that land is also classified, land use planning is there. So in that land use planning, whether it is recognized for that purpose, it is meant for in that land use planning. So we have to see that revenue record also. So then we have to you have to recognize that other fellow and get that knowledge from the revenue department. Then again, when that sand mining is taking place means you wanted to find out what is that theoretical bed level, and how that theoretical bed level is being calculated, and what is the shower, and how much amount of the quantum, because removing of the sand is very, very essential. Otherwise, it will be flooding the surrounding areas, the river course will be altered. But again, if there is an exploitation of that mining, means it will lead to the negative environmental impact. So in that case, to nullify it, we must require a good scientific data. What is the how much quantum of the shower formed, and what is the theoretical bed level, and from that bed level 1 meter or the whichever is the lower, we have to take it, and again the continuous monitoring. For that, we require the geology knowledge as well as the water resources knowledge. If there is an extra exploitation, means certainly the surrounding the areas, the groundwater will get depleted, and the groundwater quality also will be changed. And if there is any community well, means certainly that well water level will go down. So again, for that, we require a little amount of the geological knowledge also. So when we are getting that assistance from the geology people, means certainly there must be a due recognition between the geologist and the civil engineering or whomsoever who is doing this work also. So it paves the good amount of the team spirit. It fulfills the communication gap. It recognizes mutual recognition between the faculty also. It develops a good amount of the wisdom also. So, and enables what is that? Promotes the team spirit, encourages an open communication. So, but again, I can say there are little amount of the disadvantages also. So what are the disadvantages? Means sometimes the other person may be explaining in his own technical term, and which may not be having that much amount of the communication skill, means certainly it will lead to a little bit confusion also. So that problem is also there. For that, whomsoever who is interacting, he should have a good communication skill, and the other person must also be in the receptive way to get elucidate as much information as possible and clarify all the doubts and integrate those things in the project work also. Then secondly, one more disadvantage, it is a little bit a time consuming one. But when compared to an individual going to the various places and getting that information, if all the people are associated, them are coming together and discussing the thing, means certainly the time limit can be reduced. So though there is a disadvantage that it consumes a little more time, but that can be mitigated by way of calling them and a combined meeting so that everyone can clarify their doubts with the other people also. Okay. Then coming back to that interdisciplinary research work. Interdisciplinary research work, it has got a good job potential. In fact, I can very well say, previously we used to have in our college curriculum, that is only the botany, zoology, chemistry, physics, like that. Now it is more on the interdisciplinary. Take for example, previously environmental science was there. Then environmental engineering was there. Now, in my own university, a subject is being offered ME in the environmental management. And for that, the qualification also they are prescribed, even that BE with the civil or even biotechnology or with the chemical engineering, they are eligible to do. And if he is a science graduate, means after the completion of MSc. If you just see the curriculum, what we have devised for that environmental management, it is an amalgamation of all the different subjects. So he will be having some knowledge about the environmental chemistry. He will be imparted some knowledge about the biology. Then the latest subjects like the principles of the sustainable development. We all know that the 17 goals for the sustainable development, any project, when you are projecting before that environmental impact assessment authority, means you must show whether the project is a sustainable one. So for that, what are the various principles for the sustainable development which you have to take into consideration for the purpose of preparing that report? So, and whether it is the micro level or the macro level, you must integrate those principles in your project report and you must show to the authority that it is a sustainable one. Sustainability means financial sustainability, social sustainability, economic sustainability, above all that environmental sustainability, that is the much more important. So that one, for that we are offering a subject on the principles of environmental management, principles of sustainable development. Then again, we are offering 2 papers on that environmental law also. It is very, very essential for the persons when he comes out after doing that ME in environmental management, if he wants to do on his own a practice as an entrepreneur, doing that environmental impact assessment means certainly he must have a little bit knowledge about that environmental law, namely that what is a Water Act, what is a Air Act, what is the Environmental Protection Act, and what are the various what is this? The notifications, rules, regulations have been brought under the Environmental the Environmental Protection Act of the 2006. So these things, whether it is the biomedical waste management handling rules, coastal regulations, zone notification, or that hazardous waste management handling rules, environmental impact assessment notification, like that, these things he should have the knowledge. Then when he was imparted or when he was aroused that interest, one means automatically by going through the website, what are the various office memorandum and other notifications brought in the recent, after this law came into the existence, the various office memorandum, this and that, he can refer it. But he should be imparted the primary knowledge also. So environmental law is also offered. And in fact, one latest subject, namely this environmental auditing. This is a very, very important, but now the government has made a mandatory that even for the industry also to submit a report about that environmental auditing. Similarly, even the government also, that the panchayats, they have to submit a report about the area, how far it is environmentally sustainable. For that, the students have to be prepared how to carry out this environmental audit. So environmental audit together a little bit knowledge about the energy auditing also. So it is becoming a true interdisciplinary. Chemistry is offered, biology is offered, environmental law is offered. Then of course the regular subject like a water treatment, wastewater treatment, then industrial waste treatment, air pollution monitoring, air pollution treatment, this and that are offered. But certain latest subject we have introduced sustainable development, environmental law, environmental auditing, environmental impact assessment. Now, this will be very helpful for the students when they go out of this one. If they wanted to do the research work also, they have got a good amount of the choice to do any research work, whether they can do it on the impact assessment of doing in a particular area, or they can do that environmental impact assessment with reference to a particular industry over that particular area. Then, so for doing the research work, then by having that knowledge that water treatment or a waste treatment, he can do that one also. Then second one, if you wanted to do becoming a teacher means certainly with the basic knowledge of this ME, BE in environmental, BE in civil engineering or chemical engineering, with the environmental management, he can become a teacher also, or any college, university professor also. That is the second one. Suppose somebody wanted to become truly an entrepreneur. Yes, good amount of opportunities are available. Yes, after doing this one, when he has acquired that knowledge in a truly an interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary way, means he can start his own firm with along with the 3 or 4 persons and doing that work on the environmental impact assessment. Because any project nowadays, so many projects are pending in the office to get the clearance. So there are a lot of entrepreneurs are very much required to carry out that environmental impact assessment. And it cannot be done by a single person. A single person who has got an overall perspective knowledge with the assistance of the persons who are specialized in that area, he can prepare that environmental impact assessment. For that, he can do the consultancy work also. Then secondly, then if you wanted to become another entrepreneur, he can go as an environmental auditor also. That is very much after doing practice for 2 or 3 years with the senior environmental auditor, he can start his own auditing firm and he can do like a financial auditing for any company. Here also the chartered auditors are there. He can do that auditing also, environmental auditing, and submit that report to chartered environmental auditor who can sign. He has got an authority to sign. And above all, having acquired the knowledge of environmental law, then by doing that, so in that by way of acquiring one more degree in the field of law, he can practice either in the court or in the most importantly in the National Green Tribunal. We all know that you are from Pune. Pune, the western bench is there. In South India, there is in the southern bench is at Chennai, in my place. And the northern bench and the principal bench are Delhi, and the central bench at Bhopal, and the eastern bench at Kolkata. So you got the, then if you just see the southern bench, my God, hundreds and hundreds of cases are pending from the Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, and what is this one, Pondicherry. And so now that with your knowledge, because in the olden days, a person who has done that law means with the background of the history or the economics, if he has done, or with the commerce knowledge, if he has done that law means he is most unfit to be a lawyer in the lawyer to practice in the NGT. But a person like you who has got an interdisciplinary knowledge and got a science knowledge, technology knowledge, together with the legal knowledge means he has got a wonderful cutting edge to practice in the National Green Tribunal. So he can become an entrepreneur. That is the self-job. Number one, auditing. Number two, environmental impact assessment consultancy work. Number three, that is that doing this practice before that NGT, National Green Tribunal. Like that, there are a number of opportunities. Since I have specialized in that environmental studies, I just wanted to highlight. Okay, now the time is also 11 o'clock. I just wanted to sum up. The thing is, now, first and the foremost, now the trend has totally changed because we know that because of the revolution in the communication technology, and at the click of the mouse, most of the information, lot of information are available on our laptop, or at the click of the mouse, it is available on our table. And the globe has become that village also. So in that case, we must also prepare our mind not to proceed in the same directions what was there in the 10 years or 20 years. Because if you work with yesterday's tool today, tomorrow you will be checked out. That is the scenario today existing. Or I can quote one more interdisciplinary also. A person that computer science, he has got a tremendous knowledge in that hacking and other things with reference to the internet means if he has done along with the cyber law, he will be a wonderful practicing in the court of law with reference to the cyber crimes. That is 10 years back, that totally that war means that is that the military has to enter into the field of the other country. But now it is the cyber warfare, cyber terrorism, cyber security is most important. The trend has totally changed. That is what I would like to say. So accordingly, we must also equip ourselves to, one second. We must also equip ourselves to prepare ourselves do more research work in an interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary way. So I said that the importance of the doing that, it is a sharing of the knowledge between the persons and getting yourself acquainted with the other person's knowledge. Though you may not be specializing in that one, you are having a little bit knowledge, so that a small things, the problem comes means you yourself could be able to solve that issue without going to that other persons. Then second one, then third one, it encourages a good team spirit, it encourages a good communication skill, and it closes the communication gap. It emphasizes the team members or the recognizing of the team members, and with reference to that my field, what are the various opportunities and available, because environmental science is truly an interdisciplinary. I don't know about that other subjects, and this is the first time that is Professor Divakar has given me that opportunity, because my name is happened to be Ganapati. Ganapati will come only at the end, but fortunately this is the first time. I don't know whether we organized at the Maharashtra state, where that Ganapati is given the top priority. No other state gives so much priority or so much importance to Ganapati. So that I must endorse and record my sincere thanks. First and foremost, this is the first time I am coming in the first session, first speaker also. So Ganapati. And since my field happened to be on the environmental science, I have just quoted several examples from my own faculty and given that importance of doing that research work on the interdisciplinary. I am not familiar with the mechanical, or I am not familiar with the electronics field. So with my civil background, with the environmental science background, I have just said the importance of gaining that knowledge in the biology, chemistry, then what treatment of that water, what is this one? Whether it is the treatment, that is also a chemical part only. Biological treatment is a biological part only. And the designing, it requires that engineering knowledge. And implementing in the field, you require a good management knowledge also. By doing that management also, you come across what are the managerial issues also. Because when you are doing the project, what is this one? Evaluating that project, you must have a little bit knowledge about the financial management also. So now the trend is totally changed. Everyone should have a good knowledge, not restricting that, not thinking of restricting that knowledge in their own field alone. And previously, the research work means knowing more and more about the less and less. Now you have to know more and more about the more and more also. Previously, we used to say the teachers are like a ladder. So they will be asking the students, they will be making the students to climb up on the top. Now the trend has totally changed. A teacher must be like an elevator. So he must lift the students and he should also elevate himself. If you are not keeping abreast with the latest developments in our own field, we cannot be able to face our students also. So with this background, I can very well say certainly that the interdisciplinary one is the order of the day. Multidisciplinary is the order of the day. And at that juncture, they are choosing a right topic of doing or of making that realizing the importance of doing that multidisciplinary research in the engineering field. I can say because this happened to be an engineering institution, you are trusting more importance of that engineering, but along with that other field also have been and how to be integrated. So with this background, I just conclude that it is the order of the day. It is very much essential to carry out the multidisciplinary research. Not only that research, even the coursework also you have to develop it. Because I said that ME in environmental management, ME in the MSc in the sustainable development, and you just see about the climate change. That madam was telling about the climate change. It is the very, very an important one. In fact, today, our budget session, they are going to allot more than 10 crores for the climate change, mitigation of the climate change only in the Tamil Nadu government. So again, for doing that, so you should have good knowledge about the meteorological things. You must have a good knowledge about the computer modeling also, prediction of that modeling. So I cannot say myself, no, I know only this subject, I don't know this. You must develop a good knowledge in the other field also. When I wanted to do that climate change research work means I must have some knowledge about the meteorology. Every time I cannot go and ask. If there is a deep one means, okay, you can go and consult. When I wanted to do that modeling, integration of the various factors means certainly I require a good multidisciplinary knowledge also. So finally, I would like to conclude, it is not only doing, of course, for the sake of development of the particular area or the particular faculty, that multidisciplinary research only will develop that faculty. And again, for developing that one, you must also have you must also introduce some courses in the multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary one, especially like a climate change or the environmental studies or that environmental management. So with this, I would like to conclude, sir. Once again, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks for having for having invited me and given me this opportunity. I'd like to record my sincere thanks to the SK and SINHAGAD Institute of Technology and the Global Research Conference Forum, and especially Professor Prakash Divakar sir, who has sent that invitation day before yesterday. Then I was very happy to take consider this as a good opportunity, and he has put me as a first speaker. For that, my special thanks are also, sir. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Any participants wish to ask any questions to Dr. Yes, Ganapathy Venkata Subramaniam, sir?
Yes. You are most welcome. You can clarify any doubts, questions, and you can also supplement and complement your own views also.
Okay. Okay. Sir will be available after some time also. In between, if you wish, you can ask.
And the sir has known my email ID as well as my mobile number. If anyone wanted to get any assistance, especially in the field of environmental science or the environmental management or environmental engineering, you are most welcome. And I will also give this offer to the SKL SINHAGAD Institute of Technology and Science. If they wanted to start any new program on that environmental side, most welcome to call me and contact me. I will give you a good amount of information with all my knowledge. Of course, it is done honorably only, not for any money sake.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your timely coming and blessing us through your nice and educative words. So we are very, very thankful to you. So